It has been long. Let's try to discuss on how to graph this one. Can I have people joining? Remember, once you join my broadcast, you like the video. I'm just showing you on how to graph and finding the turning point of this quadratic function. So join, kindly join. Let's graph this. Don't forget to like my video. Hello, Chela Msonda. Hi, how are you? Thanks to know that you have joined our broadcast. So we're going to discuss on how to graph. Beatrice Kavamba, good evening. How are you? All right, so if you've just joined, don't forget to like my video and kindly share so that I can have a big audience. All right, so let's start. How do we graph this one? So on how to graph this one, the first thing will be to find what we call Y-intercept and X-intercept. So these are the first two things. So how do we find the Y-intercept? So first, let me explain what I'm talking about. So you have a Cartesian plane like this. This is Y-axis and this is X-axis, okay? So when graphing, you basically need to know where this graph is cutting the X-axis, this X-axis, and also the Y-axis. So for the X-axis, we call it X-intercept. So the things that... All right, so let's go. The network is a little bit bad, but all the same. So you need to find here, 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 and the turning point. So let's say the turning point is somewhere here. This is the turning point, and this is the Y-intercept where it's cutting the Y-axis, and this is where it's cutting the X-axis and here. So these are some of the things that you need to be aware of, or you need to know on how to find them. So now let's find where the graph is passing on the Y-axis. So we'll say let X be equal to 0. So where this graph will be cutting the Y-axis, the X-axis will be 0. So always remember to put the X-axis as 0. And then you say Y is equal to, where there is X, we put 0. So it will be 0 plus 2, here 0 squared plus 2, here 0 minus 3. So once you do so, when we solve nicely, you find that your Y-axis will be equal to -3. This is 0 and this is 0, so we'll just remain with the -3. So we have a set of coordinates 0, -3. This 0, we know that this is X-axis, it's 0, and Y-axis is -3. So this is a set of the coordinates we need to have. So we'll keep them, we'll put them here. So we have that. The next thing now will be to find what we call X-intercept. So we need to also find where it's passing at X, or where it's cutting the X-axis. So now we will change, we will say let Y is equal to 0. To find this, we said let X be equal to 0. Now we'll say let Y is equal to 0. So meaning in this function, we'll put 0 where Y is. So we're going to say 0 is equal to X squared plus 2X minus 3. So this Y is equal to 0 is the one I've put here. So you can see there is 0 here. So if you're able to see nicely following what is going on here, you find that this is simply the quadratic equation, solving the quadratic equation. So how do you solve the quadratic equation? If you have an idea of solving the quadratic equation, you simply say you find the factors, okay? Two numbers such that when you multiply them, they give you -3, and when you add them, they give you 2. And these numbers are 3 and 1. So these numbers are 3 and 1. In case you don't know on how to solve the quadratic equation, you can check one of my videos where I've explained on how to solve a quadratic equation. I think I'll put the link in the description. So now, when we solve here, you have something like this. So this is just a quadratic equation. We are solving the quadratic equation, whereby we have something like this here. So if you need me to explain here, kindly let me know so that I can explain. Maybe you're very behind, but if you're okay, that is a plus to me. Okay, if you're okay, I'm happy if you're okay on how to solve a quadratic equation here. So we're done here. So we can now say x is equal to 1 or x is equal to -3. So these are the x values. So now what we are going to do is to find the coordinates, okay, or to put the coordinates here. So we'll say x is 1, comma, y we said 0. So y is 0. The other one, -3, comma, 0. This x is -3, comma, the y is 0. So you see, we have these coordinates. Oh, good evening, Cletus. Thank you very much to know that you are watching and following. So now we'll get these coordinates, okay? We put them here. We need to use them. We'll put them here. So it was this and -3, comma, 0. So these are the coordinates of which now we can graph. But before we graph, we also need to find the turning point. So how do you find the turning point? How do you find the turning point? So to find the turning point, there is the formula we use. There are two formulas. So I'll go by this one to find the x value. So this is the formula. Wherever you have been asked to find the turning point, you can use this formula. Thank you very much. Good evening, Saints. Good evening, good evening. All right, so this is the formula for finding the turning point. You first find the x value, whereby you check what is our b. Our b is over here. I guess you all know the standard form of a quadratic function. This is our a, b, and the c is here. So for us to find the turning point, we only need a and b. So what is our a? What is our b? Our b is 2 over these 2. What is our a? Our a is 1. There is a 1 here, the coefficient. So you solve. When you solve nicely, you find that the x value is -1. This is x value is -1, okay? Because if you say 2 into -2 is just -1. So now get this x value, put it in this. Remember, we are looking for the coordinates of the turning point, okay? So now we already have the x value. So we can even write like this if you want. We can say for the turning point, x is -1. What about y? So the y value, we'll just say y is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 3, meaning we'll get this function. Okay, we'll get the function over here, and then we get this x value, put it where x is. We are just replacing, so it will look like this. You see, I've put -1 where x is. I've replaced x with the -1, of which, when I say -1 squared is just 1. Here it will be -2, because 2 by -1 is -2, minus 3, of which, when we work out things nicely here, we'll find that we have something like this. And finally, our y value will be equal to -4. Okay, x value, y value. So now we can plug over here. So it will be like this. So we have all the coordinates. In this case, our graphing will be fantastic, will be well done, because we have all the coordinates, all the needed coordinates. So now we can start. We can put our Cartesian plane like this. This is y-axis and this is x-axis. Okay, and then we just we start with we can start with whichever we want. So this is maybe 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, whichever number or whichever range you'd like to, but it should be accommodating these coordinates. So here it's a 1, 2, 3. Here -1, -2, and -3. -4 over there. Here -1, -2, -3, -4. 1, 2. So the first there is 0, -3. 0 here, -3, it's somewhere here. The next is 1, 0. 1, 0 is here. The next is -3, 0. It's over here. Next is -1, this, -4. It's over here. Okay? So now we can do this like that. This is our function. We even put the function like this. So this is our graph, okay, of the function. And this is the turning point over here. Thank you very much for watching. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and tell more and more of your friends about this YouTube channel. It has been Chamba Jacob. Bye bye.